Yo, what's going on YouTube? GZTV, we are here in the afternoon. Obviously, I had to work in the morning, so I wasn't able to get my content out to you guys. But we're here to talk about The Walking Dead. I just recently, obviously yesterday, I watched the 10th episode of Season 9 and some interesting stuff. Obviously, we know for a while, there's a new force. For a couple episodes now, we've been aware of this, new force of humans pretending to be walkers, and now we're kind of learning a little bit more about them, like the origin story of a couple of their members. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this show moves forward. So at the hilltop, Lydia describes her backstory to Henry while both are in the community prison. Unaware Daryl is listening in. He needs to get some intel to tell everyone else, this is where this girl came from, this is this group's motives, yada yada yada. As Lydia explains, Henry starts to become more compassionate towards Lydia, his own family having gone through similar hardships. He almost wants to start a relationship with this girl already, on the spot. They relate to each other so much, and then they're getting close, really, really quickly. What the fuck? Get this shit off my gaming chair. Damn it. You're supposed to be seeing that fucking dude, I'm in a GT racing chair. I'm fucking flexing on you. Come on. Anyway, throughout the episode, Lydia's stories are told in flashbacks, which is really cool how they have the the flashbacks, and they actually show it on screen, what she went through, what her background looked like, what her mom and her dad looked like. She and her parents have taken refuge in a Baltimore shelter with others. Lydia's father's sanity starts to unravel, and he believes the shelter is no longer safe. And throughout these stories, her mother seems to have this bit of character development, where she goes from this compassionate, caring, light-hearted individual towards her daughter to this very brash human being. That's all about survival. Meanwhile, in the present, Tara leads Magna, Yumiko, Connie, and Kelly to search for Alden and Luke, aware that they may encounter more people like Lydia that wear walker disguises. So now pretty much everybody at Hilltop, everywhere else is pretty much aware of these fake walkers. We're not really sure what's going to be called of them. I don't know. The Whisperers, I suppose, because they were whispering at the beginning. While they find the pair's horses, Tara declares it too risky to stay out and orders the group back to the hilltop because they realize they could be chased down by the Whisperers. There, Magna's group debates going against orders to go back out and search for Luke, knowing that this will harm their chance to be accepted by the hilltop. They can't just go against them and go get their guy just yet. I mean, Alden's with him. Him and Alden are together. At least it's not just Luke out there by himself. But still, they don't really want to risk anything. And it is what it is. So at the hilltop, Daryl drags Henry away, fearing he may be becoming too close to Lydia, and he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to allow Henry to do that because they're not even sure if they want to keep Lydia in the community. Daryl continues to talk to her as well, trying to scope out the size of her group as Lydia claims that they may be coming to save her, and yeah, that's going to be a weird confrontation, and that's kind of what you see in the picture. That's obviously the cliffhanger we're left off with, is how are they going to interact with each other? Yeah, I don't know. It's a very weird, it's weird. Why has no one thought of disguising as a walker, by the way? That's just now a thing. I don't know. One second, guys. My bad, y'all, my bad. Alright, we're going to continue on with the video. Hopefully my mom doesn't interrupt me or anything. Okay. She reveals that her mother grew increasingly hardened as the apocalypse continued, willing to kill a survivor sheltering with them who is having a panic attack, as she considers him too weak to survive. She wants these people to be hardened. She wants these people to be warriors. Not a bunch of bitches that are still living in the old times, the normal days. As he hears the story, Daryl finds Lydia's arm covered in marks, which she says came from her mom. Obviously, her mom was a bit aggressive and a bit, like, tough on her and all that stuff. Daryl, who had been similarly beaten as a child, displays sympathy for Lydia's abuse, and her. It's interesting to see Daryl and Henry kind of take pieces out of her story and, like, find some sympathy out of it and find some connectability and some relatability, I guess you could say. She finishes her story by telling of how the survivor her mother killed turned one night and ended up biting her father, who was trying to save his daughter. So, and you watch this scene, you're like, how the hell did he not fight that walker off? Again, he was too soft for it all, and that's kind of like the moral of this story. You can't be soft in this apocalypse, and you know, I mean, even people of the hilltop kind of share that quality, share that value. This only serves to harden Lydia's mother, eventually leading them to don the mask made from walkers to survive. There's not really any purpose behind them wearing the mask. They kind of just want to survive. Like, that's just their purpose. Like, as Lydia still believes in her mother's methods, Daryl eventually walks off. Daryl tells Henry that Lydia is Tara's problem, but Henry tries to convince him that she is coming to face her past now. So yeah. Henry mentions his surrogate mother, Carol, who had cut her hair short due to abuse from her first husband, Ed. Has finally grown to feel safe enough to let it grow again now, and that's kind of like an interesting thing. That is why she cut her hair. I guess I never really realized that as I've watched the show. Ed was very abusive, you know.